Hey everybody, this is Mark Saunders with Saunders Property Management. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, we are all about property management, investment properties in the Winston-Salem, North Carolina area. First time here, go ahead and click the subscribe button so you do not miss a thing. So I've recently joined some new groups on Facebook as well as some other websites on property management for individual investors. And I have to say, it's pretty interesting to see some of the questions and more or less the comments on some of these questions, because I guess, free advice is worth what you pay for it. There's a lot of bad advice going around out there to property managers on how to handle different things. So I thought it would be fun to just randomly pull some questions off of these forums, off of the groups that I'm in, and answer them kind of how it happens in North Carolina. Some of them are good questions. Some of them are pretty funny. So here we go. Let's start answering some questions off of investment property forums. Okay, that's a good question to start with. Can you remove the tenant's front door for failure to pay rent? Absolutely not. That is illegal. That's pretty much illegal in every state that I'm aware of. I definitely know that's illegal in North Carolina. So if you do something like that as a landlord, just know you're going to be held fully responsible for any theft, break-ins. The tenant's going to have issues that they could sue you over. So yeah, don't take off the front door of your tenant's property. Can landlords give a 60-day notice during COVID? Great question, and this is a thing that there's so much bad information going around because of the COVID evictions and everything, COVID eviction moratoriums. Yes, an owner can give you notice to vacate, and yes, they can still evict you during the eviction moratorium. The key to this, and most questions that I see online that are asked, the number one thing is, how does it relate to your lease? What does it say in your lease? I know our leases for all the properties that we manage, we have the right to show the property to potential buyers, potential renters, and to also go through the property and look at it. Now, if your lease is on a month-to-month or the term is coming to an end, absolutely the owner can give you a notice to vacate because they're selling the property, or if someone else is going to be renting it. But now, if you have, say, 7 months left on your lease, they get an offer and sell it, your lease will override that. So your lease is there for the time period during that time, unless you work out some type of deal with the landlord to go ahead and move out early. But the property can sell while you're in there. It just depends on when your lease is up and when you'll have to move out. Has anyone ever evicted a tenant with a horse? Now, I haven't run into that yet. I usually say I've pretty much seen everything. But it doesn't really matter if they have horses or not. Well, I guess it depends on how well of an attorney is the horse hires. But pets really don't play into it. Now, I will tell you, as a property manager, some of the worst evictions that we do have to go through are when people are gone and their pets are there. There's been a lot of times we've had to do evictions and there was a dog in the house or a pet. That just adds so much to the whole process. And then you're getting animal control involved, or, I've had a couple of times where I've had to have a staff person from our team here go check on the dog, feed him, and make sure all of that until the tenant comes back and takes him. The very worst is when somebody just moves out of the property because they're being evicted. They move out, but they leave their dog there, maybe tied up in the backyard or something, and very, very sad. Hopefully you'll never have to go through that. Okay, so I see this question get asked a lot, and basis for this is, say you're a property investor, you're thinking of buying investment properties and everything. Is it worthwhile to go ahead and get your real estate license? Now, I hear a lot of different answers on this, so if you're a real estate broker or a realtor and you see this and you disagree with me, leave your comments below. Would love to hear them. Personally, if you are only going to be buying investment properties for yourself, then I don't think it's worth getting your real estate license, because once you go through the test, take the state exam and all of that, now you're held to a completely different standard than the average investor. So the number one thing you need to ask before you get a real estate license is, do I want to get my license to make money off buying and selling properties for other people? Now, in North Carolina, you cannot receive anything of value to help somebody buy or sell a house or rent a house unless you are a licensed broker. So if you're only doing this to add to your portfolio where you're going to be the owner, I don't think it's worth getting your real estate license. You're held to a completely different standard. There's new rules for advertising once you get your license. You're going to have to take continuing education every single year. And it's just a different kind of way you have to go through it. It adds a different level. It's more complicated once you get your license. And if you team up with somebody that already has their license and work with them, you can pretty much get the same benefit of protection and everything on buying and selling houses and not have to go through the whole class and license process. Just my opinion on that, though. So that's the first round of questions that we have. I might start doing this more often. It's kind of fun. I see these questions all the time. If you have a property management or real estate question, leave them in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. If you think I'm wrong with something, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Thanks.